A very pleasant morning to all my dear children. Welcome to English class. I hope you all are doing great and safe at home. Yes? Okay, children, then let's begin our today's session. Today, let's continue with lesson 5 articles. In the previous class, we discussed the basic rules of articles. We said articles are used before nouns. For example, an aeroplane has just landed. Here, the word aeroplane is a noun and an is the article that is used before the noun. So we have three articles. Which are the three articles? A, an and the. And these three articles are divided into two types. A and an are called indefinite articles. And the is a definite article. So what do you mean by definite, children? Definite means something which is clear, something which is fixed or certain. So definite articles are used to refer to things which is specific, which is known, which is previously known or mentioned. Something being identified both by the speaker and the listener means something which is already known by the speaker and listener. For example, can we go to the park? So here which is article? The is an article and it is used before the noun park. So I have used the before the noun park. So when I used the before park, it means I am talking about a specific park. Not any parks that is around the world, but to one specific park, which is known both by the speaker and the listener, which both the speaker and listener knows about, okay? Okay, next one. Can we go to a park? Here, when I used a, it means any park. So I have used a before the noun park and it means any park. So when we use a, it means any park. It is unspecific, okay? It can be referred to any park. So a and an are called indefinite articles, something which is not clear, definite or certain. So when we are introducing something for the first time, we can use indefinite articles. So these are the basic things that we have discussed in our previous class. Children, now let's see omission of articles. There are certain nouns before which we have to avoid articles. We should not use articles. So let's see such rules. The very first one. Before the singular nouns when representing the class or species. When the singular noun represents all the people or things belonging to that particular class. Usually before the nouns like man, woman, God, etc. So let's see the examples. Man proposes, God disposes. So here we don't use the man or the God. Woman is man's equal. We don't say the woman. Let's move on to next rule. Before the names of materials from which things are made. For example, this ring is made of gold. So here ring is made out of gold. So we don't say the gold. Next, with plural nouns representing the entire class. For example, scientists are known for their dedication to their research. We don't say the scientist because it is a plural noun. Another example, cows eat grass. We don't say the cows. Trees shed their leaves in winter. We don't say the trees. Okay, now let's move on to the fourth one. Before the names of meals like breakfast, lunch, dinner and supper, we don't use any articles. We don't say the breakfast, the lunch, the dinner or the supper. Before the names of diseases, before the names of days, before the names of months and seasons also, we don't use any articles. So you can see some examples in the text. I had idli for breakfast. We don't say the breakfast. Another example, supper will be served at 8 p.m. We don't say the supper because supper is a name of a meal, right? Okay. Before the names of languages and disciplines also, we don't use articles. So Disciplines means it's a particular area of study, a subject that we usually study at college or university. For example, English is my favorite subject. We don't say the English. Okay. So when we simply say English, we are referring to a language. But when we say the English, we refer to the people of England. So I hope you understood that, the difference. Another example, English is spoken all over the world. We don't say the English, because when we simply use English, it means language. Okay, now let's move on to the sixth one. While referring to one's relatives, you can see the example given in your text. Uncle promised to get me a copy of the book. We don't say the uncle, okay? We are referring to our relatives. Okay, next one, seventh one. In news headlines and notices. So before the headlines and before the notices also, we don't use the or a or an. Okay, we avoid the definite and indefinite articles before news headlines and notices. Examples given in your text are: Finance Minister tables budget for next fiscal year. So that is a headline, news headline. The next one, it is a notice. Blue setter found in canteen. It's a notice. So before the notice and before the news headlines, as we never use articles. So children, I hope you understood where all we have to omit the articles. So go through all the rules that are given in your text and do the textual exercises. I hope you understood today's topic clearly. So that's all for today. It's time to conclude our session. See you in the next session.